Fuse Clue seems like a wonderful module for Lumosity, but it doesn't have enough exercises on it to be able to play successfully like most of the other Lumosity games. The game isn't defective because you can get it started, but it doesn't have enough clues to help you to build a sequence of numbers. A simple hint button just won't do if it only gives you one try and then turns to a give up button. Having random numbers without even an algebraic formula or a question demonstration board will never do because there's nothing to give you any hints as to what it wants. Some people say that leaving a person to think for themselves helps to build up your self-esteem, but that can never be true because it violates the main functioning of nature with expecting a student to learn and neglecting them at the same time. Having game pages to give out the clues as of to what the sequence is going to be is how it works. It shows a mathematical equation on the demonstration board and you can click on the fuse that shows the correct answer. If you click the correct answer, the fuse automatically moves from the table to the socket. If you click on the wrong answer, the fuse turns red and then gray out so that you won't be able to click that answer twice. It sure beats having to figure the sequence out on your own, and then finding out that you got the sequence wrong from clicking on the submit button. The previous demonstration of fuse clues is ineffective. You don't need numbers to build a sequence either. You can build one through letters too, like this one. There's a lot more examples of alphabet sequences than just from A to Z. Most of them spell out words that you can read as you see them. Some of them spell out letter formulas and chemical atomic codes. Did you see how the alphabet sequence got built up through these pages? It worked through the equations on the demonstration board. This way of doing it through numbers helps to create a sequence based on a certain algebraic formula, which are mostly slope intercepts. There's a lot more examples of number sequences than just the counting numbers. Some of them are fractions, some of them are decimals, some of them are percentages, and even numbers that are hexagon, pentagon, cube, square, triangle, subsequent exponential value, that means to the fourth power and beyond, and the Fibonacci sequence. You don't even need to do it through just the counting numbers either. It works just as good with mixes of numbers and fractions and decimals and percentages. There are many more examples of formulas that you can come up with. Did you see how the number sequence got built up through these pages? It worked through the questions on the demonstration board. You can even do all of this with the different shapes too. There are many examples of different shape sequences like this one with the 4 primary shapes for kids. There are many more examples of each kind, along with some of them mixing them with colors, numbers, and letters. There's a lot of exotic shapes in this game too, and they're the kind of shape that have some subjective names but obtain their mathematical names too. Did you see how the number sequence got built up through these pages? It worked through the questions on the demonstration board. This game is mostly done with math books like you use in school, but is functional with every school subject. Subjects like English, reading, spelling, science, social studies, health, biology, state history, USA history, world history, geology, geography, and such. But the fuses will only hold numbers or letters or shapes, or fractions or decimals or percentage on them because of their size. The game is also going to have more buildings. The game starts out with an apartment building where a severe thunderstorm blows out the power to the building, just like you see right here. After you have lit up all of the apartments in the building, you get to go to the list of the different scenarios that you wish to do the fuse lighting on. There's a list of them in all these procedures that you see right here on the table. In the mini mall right here, the power all went out because at Precario's electric electronics, there was a fire due to short circuiting that happened through his video disc pirating ring. In the department store right here, the power all went out because a customer got mad when the toy dispenser wouldn't give him what he asked for with a short timer and a defect in the system. He unplugged the machine and then placed a sewing pin in the electrical cord right near the machine. A store employee plugged the machine back in, and then shock sparks came out of the cord and blew out the power to the store. In the school building right here, the power all went out because lightning broke a wire on the power mains and blew out all of the power to the city. The airport concourse right here, power failed because of a power surge and all power in there went out. Here are some different street lights that fall under the game too, most of them because of some of the power mains that got struck by lightning. Power to them along with the buildings all went out right here on the street, downtown, and in the parking lot. The lights in the park, as you see them, went out because a huge tree branch fell on some small electrical wires and ripped them loose with a big shower of shock sparks, just like you remember seeing on that movie of Home Alone 1. And here, the farm lights failed because a small truck crashed into some power lines. Lights in the area all went out, leaving the area dark as a dungeon. This game is going to help you to relight traffic signals just like you see here. This one is just an example of a traffic signal in the game. This is where a class is going to the park. They discover that the traffic signal there is out while the other signals around it are still functioning. Here is a picture of an intersection with all of the lights out, just like you'll always see in the game. It will have amber flashing lights, four-way stops, and flashing school zone signs. This railroad crossing, like you see here, isn't working because of some damage done to the telegraph power lines along the railroad tracks. The same thing is true with the signal tower that you see right here. This nighttime rotating beacon that you see at the airport didn't light up that night because of a fire at the bottom that was caused by an electrical outlet on the floor where something fell in there and ignited. These runway lights at the airport all went out because of some blown fuses in the electrical system and grounded all of lights for the night. This can easily be indicated by a school class being taken for an airplane ride at night from South County Regional Airport in West Jordan, Utah. This game works with vehicles as well. Small vehicles such as motorcycles and other mopeds, medium-sized vehicles such as this pickup truck, and cars and vans. Large vehicles such as buses, trucks, and train engines. Marine vehicles like this motorboat, container ship, a cruise ship, a tugboat, and such. Ship vehicles like this jet, airplanes, military planes, helicopters, and such. And don't forget spacecraft like this one, satellites and such. Each building comes with a window that you click on to light up the power to and activates what's going on in the window. As for the street lights, the traffic signals, and vehicles, they have charts where you click on the flashing title and leads you to where you're going. The end tells you what you lit up and where you lit up to. Requests for new modules like this but blank so that you can fill in what you want to have in the game. You will find the sheets at all of the grocery stores. In fact, Safeway and Albertsons have all agreed to give up on Monopoly to support this game to be upgraded. They told us that they were willing to give up on Monopoly because they heard about their friends and relatives in need of having some games that they like to play on Lumosity fixed. Though you might get a discount at the store for playing Monopoly, you'll get an even bigger discount if you help to support this repair to fuse clues. You have to put the needs of your friends and relatives with disability first, especially if their favorite games aren't working like they should be. Otherwise, you're just being greedy and are asking to lose your business, which is what will happen to Albertsons and Safeway if they refuse to give up on Monopoly for their friends and relatives with disability.